Hi, I'm Lister, and this is What is Alien Swarm Reactive Drop in 4 minutes. On those nights when I want to play something fun with my friends, it can be kinda hard to pick something. Oftentimes, my first choice would be League of Legends, but sometimes I want a change of pace. At that point, I'd scroll through my Steam library and remember this beautiful old game that no one seems to know. Alien Swarm was and has been one of my favorite free-to-play games of all time. In fact, even among paying games. The gameplay is so fun that I've been recommending it to my friends alongside League of Legends and OS for a long time. Of course, if this game is so great, why isn't it more popular? In my opinion, there are two major reasons that it couldn't become more popular. First of all, the entire campaign is only 7 missions long. The first playthrough is amazing as the game elements are introduced over the course of the campaign, and it feels challenging and exciting in equal parts. But once you get to the end, you realize that your only option from there is to replay the same campaign, perhaps at a harder difficulty, perhaps as a different class, perhaps with a different weapon loadout, but that's all there is. Secondly, the first point wouldn't be as big of a problem if the game had Steam Workshop support so that the community could put up cool additions to the game such as new maps, characters, weapons, and skins. Given that the source code was released to the public, it almost seems like Workshop support would allow this game to live forever. Unfortunately, Valve didn't set that up. If only there was a modern re-release that included a heavily expanded main campaign and Steam Workshop support. Okay, trolling aside, Alien Swarm Reactive Drop is everything that the original was missing and more. It has the same gameplay that made the original such a gem, with the addition of some polish, much more base content, and Workshop support that round out the overall experience playing the game. In my opinion, the game is slightly too hard for anyone and their grandmother to pick up and play without dying. But for the most part, I think the difficulties are moderately intense without being unfairly punishing. For comparison, I'd compare the harder difficulties to Dark Souls, where experienced players can achieve some pretty impressive feats with a bit of planning and coordination, while newer players will likely struggle. In terms of progress, there is a leaderboard based on how long it takes to clear each mission, but little emphasis is really put into this aspect. There are levels to gain through playing missions and guns that are unlocked as you increase your levels. After reaching the max level, which is 27 in the original and 31 in Reactive Drop, the players can promote, which is essentially prestiging from Call of Duty, where you go back to level 1 and need to unlock all the levels and guns again. At first, this is an interesting way to introduce a player to the different guns, and the promotions do feel nice, but eventually leveling feels like a bit of a chore, and the promotions don't offer anything outside of a little badge next to your level. Speedrunning is the main endgame, and some people have gotten amazingly skilled at it, but not everyone is interested in or coordinated enough for that. I'll link a speedrun in the description in case anyone's interested in what it's like. Overall, my opinion of Alien Swarm Reactive Drop is that it's very worthwhile playing through all of the content at least once. Clearing missions with a coordinated group of friends is a lot of fun. However, Reactive Drop suffers from the same problems to the original Alien Swarm, which is lack of long-term progression, lack of real endgame content, and somewhat limited weapon variety. Even so, if you think of the game as an adventure to experience with friends, then I would 100% recommend you play it. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Thank you!